like I said before in my last video, but this is interesting. But this time I'm doing one about the Finding Dory DVD. Before I begin opening this thing up with the scissors, I just want to tell you that this movie is great. It is the sequel to Finding Nemo, focusing on Ellen DeGeneres' character Dory. And Andrew Stanton and Thomas Newman, as well as Lindsay Collins and John Lasseter, return to work on this movie, which marks the third time that this has happened. The first was the Toy Story sequel, and then the second was the director John Lasseter returning to direct the Cars sequel. But he did not direct. That's because he did not direct the third Toy Story film, and he's directing the fourth one. So that's why Brian Fee is directing Cars 3 instead. So now this movie's really cool. I just love Finding Dory. The front cover is pretty cool. Shows all the characters in the movie. There's Crush and the turtles in the background. There's the sea creatures, sea children, and Mr. Ray in the below. There's Hank, and then there's Marlin, Dory, and Nemo. So Ellen DeGeneres, Albert Brooks, Andrew Stanton, Bob Peterson, Willem Dafoe, Brett Garrett, Austin Pendleton, Stephen Root, and Allison Janney returned from the first movie, with Hayden Rollins and Jeremy Renner starring as the role, and Bennett Damon starring in replacement roles. Hayden Rollins replaces Alexander Gold for the role of Nemo. Bennett Damon replaces the role of Nicholas Bird for the role of Squirt, and Jeremy Renner voices Jacques in this movie during the post-credit scene, due to the fact that his late brother Joe Renner had to be replaced by Jeremy Renner. So now I'm just going to open this thing up and I'll show you the inside of it. I think the first Pixar short to be rated PG was Sanjay's Super Team. The name Sanjay Patel came from the name of the character in Sanjay and Craig. Craig is actually one of the best characters in that show, but the animation looked like a regular show a little bit. The way the eyes were styled and the way the characters moved. This is the disc. I'm actually kind of disappointed. Oh, sorry, I gotta throw this out. Now the disc. Now I'm kind of disappointed that this movie did not get a G rating like its preceder, but you know, that's just Pixar. Pixar can choose what rating their movie gets depending on how good it is and how good the preceder was. So, Finding Dory is about Dory going to find her lost parents, Jenny and Charlie, who are voiced by Diane Keaton and Eugene Levy. Diane Keaton never starred in an animated film, but Eugene Levy was in the previous animated films Curious George, Over the Hedge, and Astro Boy. It also stars Caitlin Olsen in her animation debut, and Ty Burrell, who starred in the DreamWorks film Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Ed O'Neill from Wreck-It Ralph stars as Hank the Octopus. It also stars John Ratzenberger as a new character called Bill, instead of the School of Moonfish. Idris Elba, who starred in Zootopia's Chief Bogo, and the live-action Jungle Book as Shere Khan, voices Fluke. Dominic West, who worked with Andrew Stanton and Willem Dafoe on John Carter, which was a live-action non-Pixar movie, which had Lindsay Collins produce it, but Michael Giacchino did the music instead of Thomas Newman. Voices Fluke's friend Rudder. In the movie, while Marlin does show some overprotection towards his son Nemo, he is no longer overprotective because he allows Nemo to have adventures. Marlin and Nemo seem to be like characters that are major to the plot, but they're usually shown outside of areas where Dory is. They're usually shown in areas with other new characters. So not too many characters from Finding Nemo remain intact, like Darla, the Doctor, the Sharks, Bruce, Anchor, and Chum. Gerald and Nigel the Pelicans don't remain intact, and there's no real major appearance of Sheldon, Tad, and Pearl. They basically are minor characters in the movie. Geoffrey Rush must have scrapped because when the movie was put into production, he was working on Minions, and also possibly Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, where he plays his character Hector Barbosa, who he's played in every movie except in the second movie. His character is minor because he only appears at the end, but he has been the only actor alongside Johnny Depp and Kevin McNally to reappear in each film. Orlando Bloom only appears in the first, second, third, and fifth movies because he's absent from the fourth film. This may be due to Orlando Bloom working on other movies and stuff, and so that's why they chose to scrap Will Turner Jr. out of the fourth film. Finding Dory is rated PG for mild thematic elements. It was released on June 17th, 2016, and that's actually a really good release date for it. The DVD cover looks really, really nice. Hank is actually a septopus, because he's only got 7 tentacles, even though we clearly can see 8. He kind of has an attitude similar to Squidward from SpongeBob, who is also an octopus, but he sports 6 tentacles instead of 7 or 8. And we know squids have 10 because they have small octopus tentacles and 2 really long tentacles. There's actually a squid shown in this movie with a snapping mouth and stuff, and Marlon actually points something out in this movie. There's also the recollaboration from the Angry Birds movie of actor Bill Hader and actress Kate McKinnon. They voice Stan and Inez, 2 kelp basses that Dory encounters when she's a child. She is voiced by Sloane Murray as a baby. Sloane Murray is actually the daughter of producer and actress Lindsay Collins, who voices Mia in the Cars movies, including the sequel where they have a minor appearance at the end, sporting a new design because of McQueen's new look. In the movie, a hidden Easter egg to hint that Cars 3 is the next movie afterwards is one of the drivers is wearing a Cars bandage on her hand with Lightning McQueen in his design from the first movie. This is a possible hint to Cars 3. One guy pointed out that all the cars zooming by the truck during the big scene where the police were involved was a hint because, of course, the cars were zooming by really fast, and that's a hint to how fast the next generation cars are in the third movie, but it really was that one bandage. And another guy pointed out that it was the big stroller scene in the movie where Hank was pushing Dory around. I kind of think that it could have been that because of the way that he moved. It's also unknown where he got the stroller. Another weird thing is Marlon seems to have more care about Dory this time than he does to Nemo, because of course this movie is mostly about Dory. Dory is one of the best characters in the movie. They released the first teaser in November 2016. Where it did not show any flashbacks from the first film, but it showed Dory sleeping and she sleep swims. Sleep swimming is a parody of the term sleepwalking. When someone talks in their sleep and walks around their house or apartment, depending on where they live. And so in the teaser, Nemo uses the term sleepwalking in a fish version because of course he lives underwater. Now it's unknown if Dory is Nemo's new mom or new sister. Maybe she's just an engaged fish friend to Marlin and Nemo. She helps raise Nemo, but she does not seem to be a wife or girlfriend because there's no kissing scenes in the movie. Like there was no kissing scenes in the first movie when Coral appeared. But we know Coral was eaten by a barracuda, but if that happened in real life, the male clownfish would turn female. But anyway, so this movie is really good. I just love it. I love Finding Dory. The spinal cover shows Hank up here and Dory down here. It says the name on the side. All animation DVDs from Disney use the fast play, but the live action ones don't. That isn't a hot issue, I will tell you that. I love how they use some really nice screenshots below here. Bailey and Destiny are 2 new characters. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Andrew Turbo Fast Inc. I'm out.